The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had an amazing season last year, and they even won the Super Bowl. Everyone was expecting a lot from them going into the 2022 season, but it looks like things are falling apart, and it's only been a few weeks. Cole Beasley just announced his retirement, and the quarterback and head coach Todd Bowles was missing from practice. This seems like a lot, so let's get right into it. First up, let's look at Cole Beasley's retirement. Cole Beasley is or was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver. He was just signed in September of 2020, but to say that his retirement announcement left people shocked would be an understatement. Beasley is 33 and has had a great run in the past 11 seasons that he's played. Previously, he was on his home team, the Dallas Cowboys. It was pretty shocking to see how within weeks he decided to announce his retirement while playing for the Bucs. Cole's manager made the announcement, saying he wants to focus on his family and now wants to become a full-time dad and husband. The sentiment is pretty sweet, but this sudden retirement must have more to it. He only played 2 games with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next, when did he sign with the Buccaneers? As we just talked about, for the majority of his career, Cole Beasley has been with the Dallas Cowboys. He played really well there, but it looked like he needed a change of scenario, and the Bucs needed someone on the receiving end. With Julio Jones and Chris Godwin out because of injuries and Mike Evans suspended, they really needed someone reliable, and Beasley just happened to be available. He was elevated from the practice squad to the active roster almost immediately. Considering he's a veteran, this was a great choice. Unfortunately for Beasley though, all 3 of the players who were out at the time returned in week 4. For context, he was brought to court in week 3. This meant he had only 4 offensive snaps. This must have been extremely disappointing for the receiver, because he's mentioned before how he reached out to Tom Brady multiple times on Instagram for a partnership. Those efforts were entirely in vain, because it wasn't until things went completely haywire for the Bucs that they started to consider him as an option. When he was signed though, he talked about how this whole opportunity was so exciting for him because he wanted to play alongside Brady for a long time. His willingness was on another level, because he even said that wherever they need me, I'm just coming in. Moving on to Cole Beasley's career so far. The Bucs situation and Beasley's situation aligned perfectly, but things went downhill quickly, and 2 games in, he retired. Let's look at what the rest of his career has been like. The receiver played for 7 years for the Dallas Cowboys and made his mark, quickly becoming known as one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. However, after playing for so long with his home team, Beasley requested a trade and ended up being traded to the Buffalo Bills. It looks like he needed a change in environment. He got that change all right. Beasley definitely enjoyed playing with the Bills a lot, but a few seasons in, he requested a trade yet again. When asked about the reason, he didn't really specify and had a lot of positive things to say. The wide receiver praised his teammates and the fans and said playing with the Bills was the most fun he ever had. Apparently though, things had changed within the organization, and that's why he wanted to leave. The Bills loved him so much they were hoping for him to come back. He was free for a while and missed training camp for the first time in his life when the opportunity to play for the Bucs came up. We all know how that went. Brady only targeted him like 4 times, and he retired soon after. He still had an awesome career though. You have to give Beasley credit for that. Is there a connection between Tom and Gisele's separation and Beasley's retirement? Rumors have been floating around about Tom Brady and his wife Gisele Bündchen getting divorced. As the story goes, Brady was supposed to retire years ago to spend time with his family, but kept playing. Apparently, Gisele had enough. Maybe Tom did too little too late. He announced his retirement a few months ago, but before we knew it, he was back in the game. This wasn't the world's first unretirement, but people were still shocked. What was even more shocking though was that after less than a month, Brady announced his return. Like we said before, Beasley is apparently retiring to focus on his family and being a dad and husband. That's what Tom Brady said before retiring as well, although he didn't specify what exactly it was that he needed to devote his time and energy to. It was a given that Brady was retiring because of his family, but he didn't mention it in his announcement. Some fans think that the wording of Beasley's retirement announcement is a deliberate dig at the quarterback, Tom Brady. Fans also made a lot of jokes online about how Beasley mentioned his family on purpose because Brady wouldn't throw him the ball on the field. Is there something shady going on? We'll let you decide for yourself. Now let's get into Tom Bowles missing practice. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach shocked everyone when he suddenly couldn't make it to practice on Wednesday. Any Buc fans or even NFL NFL fan knows that Bowles would never miss a practice without a valid reason, and the fact that he did must be because he has something more concerning to deal with. Bowles said he couldn't make it to practice due to a personal issue that needed resolving immediately. The Bucs have been falling behind, especially after their loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes really got the best of their team, and it looks like they might need time to recover. In Bowles' absence, the assistant head coach Harold Godwin took over. The Tampa Bay Times announced that it was just a small personal issue, and even though the fans were kind of worried, we can assume this helped. It's been a few weeks since the NFL season began, but it's already crunch time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they want to get ahead and make it to the playoffs. With Brady injured and not performing at 100%, they have to figure an alternative strategy out quickly, one that doesn't rely on their quarterback. Followed by, Tom wasn't the only one who couldn't make it to practice. Tom Brady, the legendary Bucs quarterback, was present at the practice, but surprisingly, he wasn't taking part in any of the drills. It's undeniable that Brady has had an exceptional run in his career, and it's surprising that he chose to keep on playing despite being 45. Most players would just retire, but it looks like TB just keeps testing his limits. The question that arises is, has he reached that limit? The Bucs quarterback has been playing for over 2 decades, and it looks like his body can't recover from injuries the same way that he used to. Even the team has started to change its expectations now, with them assuming that Brady is going to sit out Wednesday practices because of the wear and tear on his body. It's a given that a 45-year-old man's body isn't as resilient as it used to be. He's in incredible shape, but it looks like that won't be enough. Of course, the Bucs didn't say straight up that they don't expect Brady to show up on Wednesday practices, but that's what the word on the grapevine is. The official reason that they gave for Brady sitting out the practice is that he is still recovering from his right finger and shoulder injuries. Now, let's look at the game that caused the injury. The Bucs' loss against the Kansas City Chiefs was expected by most analysts, but one thing that they weren't expecting was having the main man down for their next game. Some people even think that Brady might have to sit out the game against the Falcons if he doesn't recover. Brady immediately dismissed claims about how serious his injury was, saying that he was alright. It would be believable if he wasn't sitting out practices. Now, the Bucs are on the brink of losing their star player. At this rate, it's not very likely that Brady will start against the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, we can't forget that Tom Brady is quite literally 1 in 8 billion. Despite many scares and speculations about him retiring, he's continuously shot them all down. The 7-time Super Bowl winner has had a spectacular run in his career, and it's extremely unlikely that we'll see anyone else do the same for a while. Brady has had a rough season so far, from retiring and unretiring, then again, sparking rumors that this season will be his last. Things have been pretty unpredictable for the quarterback. His personal life has also been the subject of public speculation, so that's definitely something that could be bringing him down. Either way, let's hope he makes it out of this stronger. No matter what, he's always going to be legendary, and there's going to be no one like him ever again. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about how things are going for the Bucs? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.